Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Company Heroes 1 replay. Spawn off right side as the blue British, we got Commandokai. Spawn on the left side as the government forces, we got ProgressiveMelodic. We got a bit of trash talking. I'm not a big fan of trash talking games. Lieutenant now being pulled in the field, packing up the HQ. Looks like he's going to deploy out his HQ probably right around here. I doubt he's going to put a munitions sector here. No? That would be an interesting spot, putting a 40 HQ right here. The more I think about it, the more stupid it would be. Why not give it a shot? If you were to like put it right there, it means you're going to retreat back on negative cover and be a straight shot of just fighting across this road. Definitely have to get a victim's place and easily get overran. But also means that it will be equally bad to capture all sectors for both players. Yeah, like I said, it's a stupid idea. I have a lot of stupid ideas in my head. Oh, he did redeploy his HQ right there. I think he took a shortcut. He went quickly rather than most oftenly. He wants that fuel income. Maybe it suggests to me he's going for a fast Stewart. Maybe he wants... And I don't know if the Vickers in place can fire through this. Like, if he deployed it more like right here or back here, then the Vickers would provide some good coverage. Honestly, this one does as well. So if you want good coverage, he could always deploy it right there. Lieutenant does retreat back to the HQ. Very nice. I got an intersection here, and perfect. Now the lieutenant can escort the intersection out of the supply sector.
The lads have secured a point, sir.
Sector now captured on up.
Go ahead, Captain.
Rifle squad capturing the D.
Ready for action.
A very cinematic spot for the victims placement. It will secure the cutoff sector. Interesting. Definitely very cinematic. Like, that looks like a very perfect spot for one, but is it really worth it? British MGs only cost what? Manpower, no fuel.
Yes, sir.
So it is a little bit cheaper than the US one in that aspect, but it does cost some population space. So I suppose it's not the campaign where you tend to be maxed out on population. Multiplayer, Brits have higher population apps, so they come before that. Oh, I just realized something. We got a tier 1 skip here. I was not paying attention to the environment player whatsoever. So we got a tide of pioneers here. Those capture cutoff sector. Scorpion squad could get inside this garrison. Windows probably good. I have no idea how many pioneers it takes to deal with a scope rifle squad. He also is now firing over there, so there's 4 windows firing. Not the greatest spot to be in, but not a bad spot. He's immediately trying to recapture that point. Early Grenadier. I was wondering if he's going to go for an early 251. He'll support truck now pull in the field. I think he is eyeing for fast Stewart.
We're receiving confirmed reports that Jerry's attacking the forward base.
Me, I always feels like a roll engineer is a good idea to go fast Stewart due to the increased resource acquisition upgrade, so you can spam out canisters. And possibly if you manage to squeeze out 3 command points before...
NCO's
Ooh, that's a loss there. That's a big oversight.
Dump under attack.
Captain on the build queue, so it looks like going to be fast Stewart. He always... Oh, boy, has a marksman there on the flaming warfare. Very nice. Needs to fall back now, taking too much fire, literally.
A victory point is being overrun.
Scorpion squad heading down south.
Let's not cock this one up, eh? This is field support.
I always wonder if people ever go fast steward. Like, you don't really see fast steward all too often, at least in the replays I see. Oh, sorry, I just saw, sometimes the lieutenant can win the, he dies here is what I can say. Yep, I think the problem is the reason why the lieutenant lost is because he was, being attacked while capturing the fuel sector. Sorry, I just saw your comment. They're being catching up. We got now the 251 half track being thrown in the field. Does spot the 251 half track. Does not capture the mission sector. Backing on off. I don't think any of these garrisons would. Oh, maybe this one. I don't think I've ever seen somebody garrison inside this garrison before. Oh, seriously. Who on earth ever gets inside this garrison? Looks like the intersection squad does. I honestly forgot the fact there was garrisons down here. Over here, got the scope up squad.
Go ahead, sir.
Got 2 grenadiers here, so the intersection's starting to get overran. We've got some tank traps here. Let's go Pioneer Maven force back. This tank trap appears to be incomplete. Grenadiers charging way forward. I want him to set an example. Lead by example, eh? Looks like the scope of squad will lose out. I don't think I've ever seen a prolonged fight like this before between the two. At least it'll stall up the 251 half track for a significant amount of time. And oh, straight to a. That is a bit risky. He already has a 251 half track on the field. He's getting sappers probably for some Piets.
Infantry section ready.
Can't run the face of a couple pilers. Yep. He has dropped 1 model, but there's 4 windows there, so he has not reduced damage out just yet. Minus 3-4. That's a lot of tank traps here. Captain fires revolver. Pioneer falls back away from the captain. Oh, Captain retreat there. Very nice. You could deploy out the. You have to upgrade for the Piet sappers. Hit the captain so they can get over here quickly. The sappers probably should be on vehicle hunting. Over here, Pack 38 now deployed in the field. Got some wire there. A lot of tank traps here. The center of the map, there's nothing at the moment.
CP ready for combat.
Armor command trucks deployed in the field. I wonder if there's going to be Cromwell, Staghound, or Kangaroos. Fireflies. Yep. Go Bravo squad heading to the cutoff sector. Very nice. Huh, it's been a while since I last heard this music. Grenadiers pushing down south does have Panther Shreks. The sappers are unupgraded, so maybe I am repair sappers to Staghound being pulled in the field. Repair sappers could make the Staghound go for a longer way. Our squad does force back the 251 half track. Some damage there. I think he just reinforced the Pioneer, but either way. Trying to decapture this sector, captain this region. Scope our squad a little bit idle there.
Send your message, son.
Repair sappers, so it is going to be repair sappers, overhealed mass, perhaps mass Staghounds. Yeah, actually, I have, when I was in security forces, when I was military police for the state of Indiana, the only time I've ever wrote a ticket was for somebody double parking. I've literally only.
Just waiting for contact.
Can he get out of there? Nope. Whoops.
Go ahead and send.
He doesn't need the field support truck at the moment. Plus, it can take time for him to reposition it to another resource sector.
Good to go.
Repair sappers on the machine gun placement. Not a bad idea. A little keeping our units less idle is always good.
What can I do for you?
Speed governors have been upgraded on HQ trucks.
Channel clear, go
Field
ahead.
support truck, gotta go fast.
Bridges, moving out. Ready for
Drive-by over heel. That even a thing?
Standing by on you, sir.
And I guess this guy can't drive because the wheel is on the right side of the vehicle, not the left side of the vehicle, I say. Got some landmines here, declaring that land as mine.
Ready, sir.
A little bit idle at the moment. The 251 half track has been repaired. Idle, pretty idle back here. Not sure what he's eyeing. Maybe he's trying to do for a triple flame warfare drop off. Act 38, defensive position, not a bad idea. Let's see. Just the one stag count at the moment. More tank traps up here. He has all these pioneers. Might as well build some tank traps. Gotta trap those tanks.
Capture move complete.
There's something inside this garrison. What it is, I'm not sure. There's a man. Looks like maybe just a regular grenadier. That's an STG, so yeah, bolt action STG, so it looks like a regular grenadier. Not an MG42, though then again he doesn't have tier 1 for MG42. He'll get to pull in the field. Oh, we got commandos.
We're done. Awaiting further instruction.
That's not a bad spot for one. May want to back off from the region to help prevent it from being spotted. Could put it in the corner, but that's probably fine enough spot for it. After all, he can put it right here and here and get good coverage in the middle of the map. Pioneer, Flame Warfare there. Scoper Squad hide in the corner. Let's see, how much does it see? Out to there, so we may not see these vehicles just yet.
Front's shifting. Jerry's overrunning one of our sectors.
We're going to try to engage the Thor squad there.
MG sets up and ready to fire.
complete. System operational.
Roger that, sir. Field support CP setting up base.
So, it's a cat and mouse game, so Tommy and Jerry.
Looks up,
Yeah, that's a horrible joke.
good to go.
Go for a squad, we probably need to fall back this moment.
There's nothing you can do for him.
Oh, still blocking the Scoper squad. He may time out the retreat, but he does manage to slip on by.
Standing by for grid.
17 pounders of beef there, or lead, 1 to 3. Up north, we got triple flame warfare. Scoper squad may just want to just retreat on back. Gets a full wipe there, managed to shoot, and I think those deployed other marksman there. It's hard to tell with all the fire. Scoper squad falls back after fail being a Olympic torch cosplay.
17-pounder ready.
We are losing a sector. I say again, we are losing a sector.
Ready, sir.
Captain's still here. Grenadier still there. I'm gonna say hidden longer there, but I got impatient. Yep.
Good job, Whites.
To be fair, I don't know how much it sparks in people's minds about the radio intercept. Yep, quite a bit of the Dragon's Teeth tank traps. I don't know what they're technically called in Cup Heroes 1. In Cup Heroes 2, these, at least the individual ones here, are called Dragon's Teeth in the Cup Heroes 2 mod files. And so, no matter reason I know a bit more about the game based on what I know the back end of for in Cup Heroes 2. 17 pounder here, overhealed, very nice. Destroying the garrison? Okay.
Send your message over.
Scope Rifle Squad way back There. Oh, that's why. There's
Send
the
your message.
radio intercept.
RT beacon set.
So now if you can see a decent amount of units in the field, not 100% coverage, but still pretty nice. You will see this being built here, or maybe not the machine gun bunker. Actually, I don't know if you can or cannot see the machine gun bunker, since when you pull the attack map, you don't see the square for the machine gun bunker. Oh, you will see it now.
Here we go, lads.
Or lack thereof, machine gun bunker. Couldn't? Well, now you can. Because the funny thing is, I can see it here, but I can't see it there. I never know how exactly the minimap works in this game. I think it's also one bit of issue of playing and recording this in 4K, because after all, the King Tiger symbol on the map is a diamond. I always remember that diamond bigger, so I'm just assuming something I didn't scale properly when playing in 4K. But like also the cursor doesn't scale up as well, this tiny little thing. I noticed that co-matches tend to be more static compared to, mostly because you can't capture or do anything else. True. I prefer Computers 2 a little bit better. It feels like a little bit better. I don't know how to put it. Having units able to capture and fight at the same time makes sense, but also the reason why in my mod I removed the ability for support weapons to capture and fight at the same time. When they're in combat, they don't capture sectors. But infantry squads can. It's one of those things in design. Like, some things I think Comp Heroes 2 does things better. Something I say Comp Heroes 1 does things better. Oops. Like I said, I think it's because the wheels on the right side were on the left side. Though I think that's actually a U.S. import, so it may be drivers on the left side. Yep, driver is on the left side. MG42 bunker there. Tank traps on the way. Gonna need to get Churchill out to get rid of them, but he's gone for commandos. Yep, tank traps did restrict. Yep, doesn't appear to be traversable there.
Armor repaired. Help! Sir.
Go Park Squad. Honestly, I can't tell you about Comp Heroes 3 because I found that game to be absolute junk. The campaign was so horrible, I refused to give it any more further attention. Probably should just start focusing on the center of the map there, since the tank traps cause some issues. Road engineers can be upgraded with demolition charges, right? If you go for the minesweeper path, maybe that could be useful. Pack 38 and Shug now deployed in the field. Destroying this tank trap there. I think he just needs to destroy 2. Captain finds the grenadier.
Down to 300 points.
True, but there's still no excuse of Heroes 3 state. But I still think it's still the same. I'm pretty sure if I look at it, last time I checked, the campaign's still horrendously bad. Just we're playing rehashed skirmish mode over and over and over again. That was an issue for an insult, but that was also much more minimized to doing that like 5 or 6 times, not 20 times. Or I think I did it 20 times and gotten nowhere when I played.
Ready.
Now have the Knights Cross Holders Board in the field, which means he's gone for battle phase. Has virtually one, but that one will take a bit of time to get some health regen. Grenadiers inside the church. Yep. One of those things with bugs as well. If you want to use the captain's retreat ability, you can't get past that bug. As I do see him Units retreating back over here to get repositioned quickly, so he's not trying to utilize the bug. He's trying to utilize the feature. Bit damage on the Grenadiers. Grenadiers do fall back. Attack 38 and Shug here.
Go ahead with your orders,
The landmines are still existing there. Scope of squad to recapturing the cutoff sector.
Nothing left to shoot at. Tip top.
Takes out those guys there. We've got Pioneers.
Capture complete.
One squad of Pioneers there.
Heads down. New balls closed.
The
Taking fire.
more tank traps there. Tank traps there. So he broke through over here, but there's no. Once he clears out this bunker, he has to go clear out this region.
Capture complete.
Oh, we got a Wehrmacht Panther in the field. That's a little bit overkill on Stag Hounds, but it will get the trick. No job done. Pioneer's been wiped on out. Machine gun bunker taking fire there. Oh, we got another 17-pounder being established here. Maybe in a bad angle? I don't know how effective it is. Well, where the Panther's at, this seems a reasonable spot. Staghound straight forward. Neither of them overheal at the moment.
RAF has made glider troop drops available to us.
Glider, airborne. Oh! He's trying to ambush the retreat path. Maybe with a grenade. Staghound straight forward. Stug there. Attacking the base directly. We got defense doctrine here. That's not good for the commandos. Demolition charge from the garrison. Get some damage there. Oh, that was a large grenade. But with these defensive doctrine there, artillery officer here, a lot of extra quick amounts, so he can't go for commandos into the base anymore. Good try though.
Enemy contact.
Staghound goes down.
Ready.
Maybe a good idea to go for a Firefly 2 now. Got the Stroke and Panther here. Now Veterans 1. 17-pounder is right here. It is overhealed. Very nice. Over here, we got now the what's it called Knights crossovers, not Overslatson. Maybe a good idea to go for a Vickers replacement. Bofors over here. Staghounds can engage. These guys are either overhealed or at full health. 100% health or beyond. So don't have to worry about a single Panzerfaust. This guy is repaired on up. We got now Warframe half-track deployed in the field. Very nice. Commando's still alive, which would be useful. Probably a good idea for a casualty recovery station. Alright, get some healing out. Commandos and everything would love to be at full health in combat. Oh, he's not bleeding out. 17-pounder force will roll misses there. Staghound firing away. Another Commando gliders dropping on in. We now got not for the father. Yeah, it is for the fatherland. I always get that and inspired assault mixed up. This is for the fatherland. Okay, there, Commando's taking some fire there. Warframe half track. I think he's trying to barrage 17-pounder. Commando's taking severe damage. Of course, all the Warframens tend to miss and hit everything else. He did pick up the overheal, but that's just that. There's another Warframe half-track squad in the field. Doing some damage there. I think the barrage is actually a little bit in front.
Under attack.
Mono's needing to fall back. Captain can get in this region as well. He can pull a slit trench there for the captain and provide his good defensive buff. Or even put it right here.
AT gun here.
And so Trench will just make sure that he doesn't go down too easily. 25-pounder now pulling the field. There it is.
Channel clear, go ahead.
Initiative is ours. Victory countdown start.
That's actually one thing they did purposely remove from computers too. Make sure Panzertreks and bazookas don't have a shotgun effect and can possibly annihilate entire squads. They made it so it's very ineffective versus infantry, which it should be. If you get an AT weapon, it should be more prioritized for AT. Answer more for barrage raining on in. Does get some damage here, but look, the overheal was very useful, absorbing most of the damage.
Ready to receive your orders.
Commando squad over here, so now we got triple commandos in the field. Lieutenants could aid them.
Ready to
Medics
move.
can also aid them.
Bloody hell, they've zeroed
Another half track here, applying for war from half track. Could be for flame half track, probably not. Commandos camouflage the way forward, smoke grenade. Needs great damage here on the Knights Crossholders. Plus the Knights Crossholders need some extra vegetative commandos. That commando squad doing some great
NCOs
work there and gets a
reporting
full
they have
wipe.
destroyed a German target.
Perhaps maybe the commandos could be loaded back out in a kangaroo and go for some drive-bys. Here comes the registered artillery. Region has been registered. There's a lot of the commandos.
Ready to copy orders.
A lot of Warframen's raining on in, but the overheal is being very useful. He did lose half the squad for the sapper, but overheal took most of the damage. Another commando deployed in the field. He could have deployed out another commando through the glider itself,
Good to
but
go.
does get a nice little ambush there and a free Panzertrek. 25-pounder raining on in here.
Shite, where'd that come from? Victory point captured. Ready to receive orders.
Decryption gear is online.
We do now have the officer going on the front line. We do now got fear propaganda deployed out by the officer. And that's an actual barrage. Warframe half tracks took a nice volley there.
Jerry's trying to push in with
Have a
infantry.
victory point under attack.
I think he only used the regular barrage, not the decoy barrage. Decoy barrage, if he would have fired both his flares, then he has to assume actual barrage there. And the first one actually being the extra barrage was actually a good idea. You don't know if that's a decoy or not. In this case, it was not.
We are losing a strategic sector.
Yep, and that's actually a thing they changed a couple years too. They made sure the OKW Stukas of Foos died to one. Was it? Does die to one shot. The same thing with the counterparts of Katusha and the Panzerwerfer. Because indirect fire pieces like that should be pretty fragile. Provide reasonable counterplay. And also, the OKW one's also much stronger than this. Good damage there. Grenadiers clean up these commando gliders. He is pretty much a pop cap.
Keep your gobs closed.
A lot of forces back here needs reinforcements. In fact, he probably does not have enough population
Enemy
to
unit
reinforce them
destroyed.
all. I reinforce the commandos, keep the scope rifles back at home with the captain. Still think he needs to get a casualty clearing station.
Jerry has 300 points remaining.
Commandos push the way forward. And these commandos are sprinting way forward, but they can't
OP
fire
reporting a
movement.
sector is under attack.
Good shot there. Ooh, great shot there. Smoke grenades upon retreat. And here comes the actual barrage. It's throwing up quite a bit of munitions and has good munitions at the moment. And right now in vision, he should be in vision. She looks out of vision. Wolfram barrage eyeing somewhere.
17
All operations will be
Trying to put commandos. That barrage just outright missed. Like if he targeted it right there rather than right here.
Return their fire!
They're going after one of our munition stores.
Speed, efficiency, tact!
To be honest, it's sort of hard to get advice right now because the game is not exactly super action packed, honestly. There's a lot of idle units on both sides. Both sides are just poking and prodding, not really being hyper aggressive.
Just waiting for contact.
Panther could have been much more aggressive.
Stag, ready.
Nothing much right now the British player can do. I suppose the 17 pound is still here, but he could have probably advanced over this region. Or just go to landmines. .25-pounder barrage here. He has vision of this region thanks to the radio intercept, radio triangulation. That's how he's able to barrage in the fog of war like that.
Go ahead.
Veterancy gained.
Crack cocaine infantry.
Do something or we'll be right fucked!
Jerry knocked out an MG nest.
True. They are very durable. But you may hit repairing pioneers around them. It forces your opponent to repair and thus keeping them back. Commandos breaking their way forward. Now these infantry pressures too, and the commandos are not fully healed, so they're taking some damage. Another commando glider brought on in. These guys can be at full health though. Got some flamethrower pioneers, an actual barrage being brought on in. Does get some good damage there, but of course he largely moved out of it. Flamethrowers burning down the glider now. Really stupid idea is if you can't bring commandos in your opponent's base, you can always bring a Tetrarch. It is also a really stupid idea and probably would not be very useful.
Ready to move.
A lot of wounded units here. Here comes artillery barrage over here.
Send.
Mono squad here may need to fall back.
Prepared and ready. All ready here.
Monos with the panic trucks inside the garrison still. Two 251s have plenty of health at the moment. Yeah, I don't think there's ever a real good time to pull out Tetrarchs. They have the same like timing as Churchills, and Churchills are a bit more heavier.
Taking fire! Return their fire!
Not really good barrage. This damage can of course be easily repaired up by the repair sapper. I think that the Panther could have been a bit more aggressive this game. He has a Panther in the field, a good tool to help establish breakthroughs, but he really should be playing around his Panther a little bit more. I think going for these Warframe half-tracks have not been that great. Sure, there's been some of these emplacements, but I think he should have been a bit more aggressive with the Panther and with maybe getting out Panzer IVs instead of these Warframe half-tracks. True. I'm also more biased towards Stuarts because I think canister rounds are really good.
Staghound here.
By the way, overhealed staghounds are nice and durable. Yeah, I think the Wehrmacht player is being way too passive. He has a Panther on the field and it's largely done nothing. Because playing the War from Barrage game has not been paying dividends. 0 kills, 7 kills, 2 kills. So he has 9 kills across all 3 of them. And most of them just a handful of Sapper individually. They get the entire Sapper there, which is probably the biggest strike he had this entire game. Come on, let's push way forward. Doesn't press still on his tanks. And I think that was a bad idea. He had a pretty... I think he still has a good number of Pioneers in the field, or did he lose them, most of them? He only has 2 Pioneers in the field, so it doesn't really have a master repair crew. Here comes another artillery barrage. Has decent amount of munitions. Something I've known when playing Cup Heroes 2 quite a bit as well. Sometimes the best way to defeat your opponent's armor and vehicles, I think the same way it can be done with the half-track, is actually not focus them down, but focus down on the infantry, because a lot of good of having vehicles in the field if there's no infantry capture the sectors. So maybe better just focus down on the infantry squads. Ooh, a couple guys threw themselves in shreds. I think that's another actual barrage. Yep, but here the artillery. Force retreat, 3-man commandos. Probably a bit of a waste. Great hit there. Got lucky that the Grenadiers survive. Okay, that apparently there's traversable land right here. Getting some good hits there.
Heavy recon here.
Where Sapper does fall back. Decoy barrage, and still playing missions for more actual barrage as well. Enough for 2 more. By the time he gets off cooldown, he probably has enough for a 3rd. Yeah, it sort of is. The Wehrmacht player could just push forward, he's just not. I hear register artillery somewhere. Up there, looks like a commando squad went down. They did manage to place down demolition charge before they got wiped out. Bit an oversight there, losing some commandos like that. He still has a lot of units here, needs reinforcements, and perhaps some medics. Another Panzer squad there. But he's not fighting against enough vehicles. He's really concerned about getting out Panzer throw some smoke grenades there. Demolition charge will be complete. And here comes at least an actual and a decoy barrage. Actual barrage from on the back, gets wiped on the Grenadiers. Very nice. He misses the Pack 38. Will not even reveal it. 25 pounder gets a good hit there as well. True.
We are losing ground.
Wehrmacht player has plenty of fuel and manpower. Panthers and Panzer IVs probably wouldn't be half bad. Still goes down to the 17 pounder. Looks like they did some good work there. Oh, I think we got the armor piercing round ability being utilized onto the on a 17 pounder. Yeah, that's putting some big holes in the Panther. Back count does go down there, the attack grenade. Ain't gonna show the crit there. And the repaired up 70 pounder. We spent all this time barraging. Hasn't gone down. That barrage already missed as well. Repair, yeah, the repairs have to do excellent work there. These guys have been, well, these are the replacement one, but both of them have been doing excellent work this entire time, keeping that thing full healed and overhealed. First squad of commandos do fall back. Attack on, push forward. I think the Sentinel destroyed the collider. It may be better to deal with this 70 pounder is actually just a regular mortar for sustained fire. With sustained fire and barrage, you will have trouble keeping repaired. Yeah, I think a mortar in this situation would be much better. Oh, to say may have lost another squad to register artillery. I think a mortar may have been better than warp half track. Black idiots may be for the field. Finally destroyed that, what's we call it, 17 pounder, 4 special commandos there as well. Attack on some fire, pass files fired, 10 strike rolls a miss. Yeah, like I said beforehand, I think that was just a stat count there. I do think a mortar would be better than those working half tracks. Not only be cheaper, but can also ride much quicker. Does use the Krieg Barracks, not the Wehrmacht quarters. And it's the same fire. You don't have to use a barrage or just get in the range to do it. Oops! 17 pounder missed, destroy the glider, killing all the commandos inside. Whoops. Oh, I don't think I've seen that before. Like I said, what I like to do in computers too is get them, if a mortar emplacement Bofors had trouble dealing with, I push for the mortar, and instead of just trying to do a barrage order, I just simply do an attack ground order, let them just auto attack until it eventually dies. But to self, 70 pounders are super effective as commandos. Another Panther deployed in the field. Do now have a slit trench with Panzer commandos inside. That's going to be hard to deal with. Though Flame Warfers are going to clear out the slit trench. They actually do well. As they have trouble with the slit trenches, but not so much Wehrmacht in some situations. But these guys are supported by the captain. Barrage does rain back here. These commandos are severely wounded. They may want to fall back to some medics if he has some. He does not have some. Demolition charge still exists there. Smoke grenades there. More commandos charging forward. Maybe a lieutenant or two wouldn't be half bad to help spoil the commandos. That's a lot of manpower still. You now have artillery barrage or decoy barrage right there from the Brits. And commandos do get wiped on out. Some shots over there. I mean, one thing you could do is also deploy out a glider back here and just use as a build queue to get more commandos. Bag hound being a heavy emplacement to help protect this flank. Not a bad idea. 17 pounder there, not a bad spot. Commandos could use some medics.
Captain ready.
Captain the region. You could try getting inside a slit trench back here. And I think maybe a slit trench with some lieutenants in back there would have hurt as well. At least not hurt the British player, or hurt the German player a bit. Backing out this way forward. Commandos are nothing to explain. Walk from half track gets quick damage there. Push on the slit trench itself. Demolition charge could be nothing to damage the Panther, but it's probably not really worth it. Grenade there. He eats a grenade, his blood will just get wiped out there. Does lose the trench entirely, which could be a problem. And that's a regular Nibble for now pulling the field. There goes the captain.
Victory location is under attack. Enemy unit has been knocked down.
I'm curious. I clicked on that exactly the same time it actually detonated. Please don't tell me there's some sort of bug in the replay.
Germans have
Okay.
moved on one of our victory.
I actually clicked that at exactly when it blew up. It's like, oh crap, was that me? You'd be surprised how many times you can actually break the game a little bit by the replay in the caster mode. Commando glider being dropped on in again.
German
Anti-truck grenadiers do get wiped on out. Panther still pose a problem, but only a minor problem. Working half-track barrage maybe in this region. Yep, also on pull back. Those use this one squad there. 9 command points. You can bring in the Tetrarch glider. Maybe some PIA commandos spot the HQ glider. There's a little bit low on the manpower at the moment.
Send.
70-pounder being established here. 25-pounder disrupting the Knights Cross orders. Artillery officer there. Ah, he's keeping there for the fear propaganda. He does have a medic station actually established right there.
Send your message.
We're done. Get us out of here. 1-7
I don't know, pull in the field. We do now have a Warfare barrage raining in somewhere.
Return their fire.
Looks like just German barraging right here at the point. They largely missed the high value stuff. Panther taking some hits. 17-pounder. Church almost destroyed. Probably a good idea not to keep the commandos in there. Though the church has become a little bit more holy. Its holiness is very shown and see-through. I had to prioritize what I was spending on manpower. Couldn't reinforce straight away. True. And the Scope squads, they're a lower priority, that's for sure, compared to commandos. But they, of course, have the capability of capturing the in place. They could be used to capture the flank over here. Plus, in both of them up there, the officer will only be a fear propaganda one of them. 4th Street 1. Oh, someone missed there. Auto squad does escape on out of there. This on the plan warfare. For the fatherland is active the moment. Good, complete.
Extended line.
British pushed through our lines.
Pioneer's now
Destroy the
dead.
German target.
And the Panther rolls a miss there.
It's their hand. They're down to 50 points.
Blair has a bit of manpower, some munitions. I think that's decoy barrage. Half-track barrage might hit the 17-pounder. He's almost down. Build is here, so these half-tracks will not go down. Well, the fatherland is active right now. And this 70-pounder is getting overhealed now. Another still gonna build queue. Plus, he maybe better just go for Panzer IVs. He's not fighting against any vehicles. Panzer IVs would provide a bit more anti-infantry. Maybe Ostwin?
Pioneers reporting for duty. Pioneers ready for fight.
Heavy recon here. Half-track evading command.
Nope, Scope Squad. Go powerful models pushing forward to capture some sectors. Trying to be a nuisance. Very nice.
We are losing ground.
Let's push way forward. Warfare barrage right here. This time does show us 17 pounder.
Taking fire!
Barrel cars down to 46 tickets. Models do get wiped on out. More artillery raining on in. And we got regular Never Warfare Barrage in the central VP as well. Various sappers and backhounds falling back.
We have enemy contact! Frightened, taking fire!
Who wins out a fight? A Vet 3 officer or a scope rifle squad of 1 model? I have no idea who wins that fight. I suppose it does deploy designated marksman may make him win out, but I think he can withstand a shot from a deployed designated marksman. I have no idea. I have rarely ever seen the officer deploy in the field, so I have no idea how durable the damn things are. You know, I do know that the officers does rely on infantry veterancy rather than support infantry veterancy, which I believe he should be scaled off of support infantry veterancy because more like a support unit rather than a standard infantry unit. Fresh commandos there, spending more munitions on the propaganda war. Actual decoy barrage. That sounds like actual barrage. Destroy some glider, takes out the officer. I don't know if that's worth. Some of the stuff starting to disintegrate. The Warframe half-tracks are finally do some work. I think some counter barrages there as well. You can take 2 sniper shots, take out the artillery officer. I just have no idea. I can only make assumptions. You know what they say about assuming? Make out an ass of you and me. Knights cross holders. There. Finish off one drink. Another. Technology. Pounder sees some damage there. I'm trying to capture the sector. The British player only plays a VP game. Strokes at least have their potential mounts for anti-infantry support. Trying to disrupt the capture. Gets doesn't disrupt the capture, but does disrupt the full capture. Double warfare firing away. Oh, how dogs are on the field? 3 Stugs. I do believe Panzer Force may have been better at the situation. Was they able to hit infantry better? I probably should stop mentioning that. Another Stug on the build queue. The Stug life for him. Sackhounds get some damage there. 70 pounder as well. Wolfen Barrage raining on in. I have no idea exactly what's targeting. Close range trying to hit the Staghounds. Will wipe out the sappers. Came shooting stars. One of the Wolfen half-tracks has gone down. Here comes the double warfare barrage. He was trying to mimic the American, what's it called? The rockets ready to layer. 70 pounder does get a kill there. He's pushing too far forward. He's taken out by the Eastern Stray. 70 pounders, took some damage there. There's a little pounder there. Commandos do fall back. And almost destroys his own Panther with that barrage, but he cannot. 70 pounder still alive. Demolition charge there. do now have the field for truck building something. Sappers, I'm guessing. Since the last one went to their home planet. Their planet needed them.
Send your message. Over.
I'm trying to think of another stupid jokes. The World War II version of a rocket jump? Okay, that's enough of that. Oh, they are rockets, so it's not entirely false.
Ready, sir.
Scope Alpha Squad finds the Stug. Stug targets. Does fall back there. Decoy barrage somewhere.
Point captured! We need to get the hell out of here!
Section formed. So got a free squad here. That will be very useful. Manpower. Going for a standard Firefly, that's probably a good idea. He's been probably a little bit overdue getting 1 or 2 out. Though, the German player lost a lot of Stugs to those stray 17-pounders, as well as Panthers. Or from Barrage, I think trying to hit this guy here. But max range is probably not going to do a whole lot of damage. It hardly even touched the thing. I have no idea where the barrage would be because it's scattered out pretty wide. And since now he fired off the barrage, he says, oh, British artillery does get the point he captured. Nice sneak around there. German Firefly now deployed on the field. Non-infantry squads are reinforced at the moment.
This is it, gents. Commando squared away and ready.
Some sort of artillery, just decoy barrage.
Our supply lines are being threatened.
Or from half tracks firing away somewhere. Relatively blind barrage, largely targeting right there. He does actually have vision of this stat count. That's how he knew that was there. He may have saw the health going up. Maybe saw some of the sappers. That's why he barraged there. Wow, that's a lot of vision given off them that VP. Probably due to the fact that he has access to defense doctrine, because that's the normal. Yeah, so that's just a lot of vision there. Oh yeah, Firefly fired away, so he does reveal himself. You can see further than I expected with that defense extra sight range. Yep. And it's really hard to gauge what your opponent's vision is. No, the Pioneers could have stood there and fought. This guy's just sneezed away from death. Orphan Barrage leading on in. And this is one reason why I try to hold off and doing any sort of accusations. This sort of thing, because since he has vision right there, you can make a good idea that there's other stuff right around there. It's really hard to gauge your vision. I thought I was out of range. See whether where I don't have the Brit sprint like my LT did. Yep. Commando, singular, pushes his way forward.
Yeah, with the grateful fatherland and the glorious struggle. We're losing territory.
Oh,
Present this
like I said, sneeze. The Pinto Mount just dead. And this thing's not such the highest damage weapon there. Yeah, I think the Wehrmacht player is being a lot too passive. He has so much assets on the field, but he's just not using them. He has 5 Stugs. No Grenadiers, no Volks Grenadiers, no Knights Crossholders anymore either. Got a couple Fireflies here, so this will be a good counter to the Stugs. Honestly, one way to counter Stugs is simply by deploying non-tank assets. But Stugs in large numbers still can pose a threat to infantry.
Half-track, awaiting command.
Pioneers, have support. Assault gun deployed.
A 6th Stug. He does have eventually 3, so it takes less damage from hits now. It's either 50% less damage or 66% less damage from hits, if I remember correctly. Or from half-tracks firing away. Trying to hit the 17-pounder. Some hits there. Now got triple Firefly. Very nice. I wonder if they're overhealed. The fresh one is not. The other 2 are. We may see a massive tank battle here. Even though Stog's not considered tanks, they're considered self-propelled guns.
What's the word, sir?
Now the Firefly could be squeezed out relatively soon. Or how much population space does a Firefly take again? It has 8 spare population space.
Send. Over.
I think it's like 12, right? Or 10. So you may not have enough population space for a Firefly. 10? So yep, that's not enough space for one.
Jerry knocked out an MG nest.
Oh. He has population space now. He deleted one. He deleted this emplacement there so he can squeeze out another vehicle.
Field support CP receiving you.
Yep, Firefly on the build queue. Three war from half tracks. Granted, the German player does have a minimum number of VPs captured, so he's just going to play around these 2 with his 6 Stugs, 1 Panther, and war from half tracks.
Of the grateful fatherland and the glorious struggle. Honor and blood.
Where's this exactly
Iron
barraging?
Cross.
Keep blind barrage right around there. I think he just took out some of the overhealing. Nothing too significant at the moment. I have no idea how many Fireflies it takes to take on. Looks like this guy has set on up, repositioned over here. Looks like. They're both just setting up, ready to push out. There is almost enough munitions for a 28cm rocket barrage that could be useful in fight. May just keep it up, keep munitions ready for registered artillery. After all, the Wehrmacht player can play defensively. He can set up a nice concave right here. He does not have to be aggressive. He has 2 VPs captured. He can play a bit more passively. Though sending over the Scorpion squad over here to capture this sector is not a bad idea, though he will find the machine gun emplacement.
They're losing territory.
Oh crap. Fireflies, 3-4, stack hounds, on some fire first. Fireflies entering melee range. We got the 25-pounder barrage there. Panther has been flanked by Firefly. Let's not use the job of the Fireflies. It's punching through the weak side of the flank. Those over here are not providing proper fire support. They just need to be able over here. Or now there's a sapper there. And him not migrating over here allows the British player to take out the weak point, Now the Stokes rotating over. The Fireflies probably don't have to worry about exposing rear armor all too much, honestly. And now the Fireflies focusing down. Got some free shots there. Takes out another Stroke. The shortage crit there. Two of the Fireflies just hanging on. Focus fire is good. Focus fire there with the Fireflies. The Strokes focus firing. Doesn't appear to be. He needs to extend that through the wood. He does see the window one, so he's starting to Fireflies fire. This VP's been captured by the Brits, so now the VP's it's double capture against the X player. Up here, it has been decaptured. There's a stat count. He could have gone for a Tet Shark to help clear out that bunker, but he's using demolition charge. Probably a better idea. War from barrage there, way too late. Wehrmacht player was not probably micro. And now start to capture this sector there. And red start to the root there, maybe on top of the bunker. That count finishes off there, and I can capture the sector. War from barrage may make it a little bit toasty though. Also, in this case, the Fireflies pushing forward like that was not a bad idea. Since the Stokes over here were not engaging, pushed forward to break through a weak point. I was trying to get this recaptured. Does take out the Commandos though. Firefly or stacking fall back. Takes out the stag hound. The X-Player doesn't have too many VPs remaining. Even just decapturing this sector here will start the countdown. Passive doesn't need to fully capture, just need to decapture. Each section, a sneeze away from death. Oh, there's another intersection here. Pioneers get inside the garrison. I don't know if they can range that. Just out of range. Double for barrage running in. Collider commandos can be brought in shortly, maybe up here. He needs to stop that cap. Gets decapture. That's counting down. Commando gliders up here. And Strelitz at the highest threat to infantry. The Wehrmacht just has not deployed proper infantry assets. He probably should have just camped a Hawkstorm up there. That Hawkstorm would be an excellent way to camp the point. Losing this squad there. This gets captured there. Double capture. That will secure the victory for the British player. Oh, we got demolition charge there. And that is the end of the replay. This Android saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.